Spaghetti westerns didn't just rewrite the rules of the genre, they kicked them in the teeth. We're talking brutal, violent, and unapologetically R-rated. These 10 films didn't hold back, giving us the grittiest, bloodiest tales the Wild West has ever seen. In Face to Face, Sergio Solima flips the script on the traditional Western. We follow Brad Fletcher, a soft-spoken professor who retires and heads to Texas for some peace and quiet. Instead, he ends up crossing paths with Solomon Beauregard Bennett, a dangerous outlaw. What follows is a psychological cat-and-mouse game where Fletcher rises through the ranks to lead an outlaw gang, shedding his non-violent ideals along the way. Solima's direction makes this one of the most thought-provoking spaghetti westerns you'll ever see. Death Rides a Horse tells the brutal tale of revenge as Bill, who witnessed his family's murder as a child, grows up to track down those responsible. Along the way, he teams up with Ryan, a former gunslinger with his own vendetta against the same men. Giulio Petroni's film is a haunting masterpiece, with Lee Van Cleef delivering a complex, gritty performance. John Philip Law matches him as Bill, and the film's stark gunfights and eerie score elevate it to near perfection. This remake of Garden of Evil centers around a woman who hires 5 men to help rescue her husband from a gold mine controlled by a ruthless bandit named Chato. What she doesn't know is that these men have their own greedy motives. Find a Place to Die is a gritty tale of survival and betrayal. The film takes the familiar gold hunting trope and twists it into a raw, action-packed story set against the backdrop of rugged terrain and decaying Spanish architecture, reflecting the moral decay within. Compañeros takes us to revolutionary Mexico, where Peterson, a Swedish mercenary, teams up with a reluctant companion as they deal with a corrupt general who controls a small town. But don't expect a typical Western. Sergio Corbucci blends the thrills of revolution with buddy comedy elements, and the results are fantastic. Franco Nero, Tomas Milian, and Jack Palance bring the humor and charm to the table, while Ennio Morricone's score adds depth to this one-of-a-kind spaghetti western. In A Man Called Sledge, James Garner sheds his usual charm for a darker role. Sledge is a hardened gunslinger who hatches a plan to rob a gold vault by posing as a prisoner. Co-written and directed by Vic Morrow, this western is a gritty, atmospheric ride through the lawless Mexican borderlands. Garner himself admitted it was one of the toughest roles he ever played, and his portrayal of Sledge as a cold, detached outlaw is unforgettable. Before making his directorial debut, Giancarlo Santi worked alongside Sergio Leone on iconic projects like The Good, The Bad, and The Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West. Drawing from that experience, The Grand Duel tells the story of Sheriff Clayton, played by the ever-conflicted Lee Van Cleef, arriving in Saxton to maintain peace. But when Philip Wermeer, accused of murder, shows up, the town quickly descends into violence and betrayal. Santi delivers one of the great spaghetti westerns using a slow-burn style and minimal dialogue. Set in the aftermath of the American Civil War, Keoma follows the half-white, half-Native American gunfighter Keoma Shannon, who returns home to find his town controlled by outlaws. His 3 half-brothers have teamed up with their ruthless leader Caldwell, imprisoning the people and terrorizing the town. Keoma, along with his father and an old friend, takes up arms to rid the town of its oppressors. This film offers a refreshing take on the spaghetti western with its love triangle and conflicting loyalties. Clayton Drum, a gunslinger on the verge of being hanged, is offered a deal: kill a rancher who refuses to sell his land to the railroad. But things get complicated when Drum falls for Rancher's wife, leading to a dangerous chase. Monte Hellman's direction gives the film a unique edge, blending intimate character moments with sweeping landscapes shot on location in Spain and Italy. The love triangle adds a layer of intrigue, and the film's unexpected emotional depth sets it apart from more straightforward westerns. In 800 Bullets, we follow Torralba, a former stuntman who worked in American westerns filmed in Spain. Now an aging performer, he's estranged from his grandson Carlos, who becomes fascinated with his grandfather's past. When Carlos runs away to join Torralba, they both get caught up in a battle to keep their legacy alive. Alex de la Iglesia's film is a love letter to the violent, gritty spaghetti westerns of the past. With explosive shootouts, dark humor, and well-choreographed action, 800 Bullets feels like a modern twist on the genre. No list of R-rated westerns would be complete without the Dollars trilogy. Under Sergio Leone's masterful direction, these films redefined the western genre. With Ennio Morricone's unforgettable score, long, drawn-out shots, and themes of greed and violence, the Dollars trilogy is more than just a series of films. It's a cinematic revolution that influenced generations of filmmakers.